Hey folks, welcome to the VERUS Garage, and this is my brand new 2024 Subaru WRX. And in today's video, I'm going to do the first modification to it, which is going to be a installation of VERUS jacking pads or jacking pucks. What these things are from VERUS Engineering are little pads that protect your pinch welds. So obviously this is a unibody car, meaning it doesn't have a frame like my 4Runner, and so you got to lift it with the pinch welds that the factory allows you to lift with. Sometimes even when you're doing it the right way, these pinch welds get all distorted, and one, it looks ugly, and two, it's kind of like a area for rust to develop. And so folks, the reason you don't want your pinch welds to get all nasty is because they start looking like this. This one isn't too terrible, but if we go back, and this one's the front one, if we go back to the rear one here on this car, you can kind of see how it's getting mangled. And you know, just like I said, doesn't look good, and for whatever reason starts to get rusty once you have like that metal exposed like that, getting all that salt and water and whatever road conditions. And so I'm trying to avoid that with these jacking pucks. I want to try to keep this nice and neat, and so if you'll join me on this video, I'll show you how the installation works and what's in this box. So first and foremost, we're going to have to get the vehicle up, and again, I'm trying to avoid jacking it off the pinch welds at the moment. Subaru is nice enough to accommodate us in this with two towing hooks, or two towing eyelets on the bottom of the car. I'll show you what that looks like in here in a second. Let's go under the car. So if we go under the car, you can see this is towing hook, and all we're going to do is just bring in a regular old floor jack and get this up a bit. So this isn't an ideal lifting point, but it should get us enough elevation to access the pinch welds. If you're seeing water drip down, don't worry, that's just condensation from the AC. All right, so I do have the wheel up a little bit. I'm gonna slide a block of wood under here just for safety's sake. And also, that's about the extent that our jack can go. So let's let it down. We're going to lose some height, but we're going to get the wheel back on the wood. All right, now let's go under here and look at these pinch welds. So let's go ahead and look at the passenger side really quick. So if you don't know what a pinch weld is, simply this area where the chassis kind of pinches off at the bottom. Typically these are good for welding points, lifting points. And usually what will happen is a jack or even lifting arms on a lift will bend this, and again, it just looks like trash. So let me show you what we're going to do with the VERUS pieces and what they look like. So the VERUS pieces are really nice looking little tabs basically, and all they do is slide over that pinch weld with the logo facing out towards you, and so they slide into that pinch weld, and you bolt them down, and that's it. So now your jack, you're lifting. There's a lifting surface. There is a lifting surface for your jack or your lift arm, or in my case, like the pads on the QuickJack, to contact, and they won't bend your pinch weld, and keeps it nice and protected. So to install these, what you're going to do is you're going to take a little bit of red Loctite, and you're going to go plunk it down on your, oops, it's probably a bit much. You're going to plunk it down on your bolt X. And you'll go ahead and thread it in till it's about flush with your lifting pad or your lifting puck, whatever you want to call it. I believe this is a 5mm hex. Yep. So go ahead and get that flush. And we will prepare our 1/4-inch ratchet to snug that down. Take this back over to the car. Alright, if you see these two little divots, so you're going to align your lifting puck to those two little divots, and all you're going to do is smack that in there so it's nice and seated. So this isn't rocket science. Once you have it nice and seated, just go ahead and tighten it up. Alright, so that feels pretty doggone snug. I think we'll be alright. It's not coming off anytime soon, hopefully not, because these things cost 140 bucks a set. So I forgot to mention that earlier. Either way, it's nice and flush. It doesn't like change the height of the car when you need a jacket. Like, you don't need to get a shorter jack. If it would fit on the pinch weld originally, it's going to fit on this pretty much. You just get maybe like an additional couple millimeters, maybe 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch additional, but nothing substantial. So for the next side, we're going to do exactly the same. And then for the rear, there's a couple ways you can do it. With your front wheel still on the wood, you should be able to still have enough room to reach back here and get your pinch weld. Otherwise, if you need, you can use your freshly installed lifting point to get even a little bit more height from the front with your floor jack, or you can go back there and jack up underneath the differential. So I think that the easier approach here would be to just kind of do it right now because I can reach it. Alright folks, so same exact process. Slap the rear one on too. You got rear in front, and now you got nice lifting pads that will protect your pinch welds, and I'll show you how that works here in a second. Now that I want to get the car lifted up again so I can remove that plank, I can lift it with the floor jack without worrying about damaging this pinch weld. And so that's how this is how that's going to look. As you can see, the jack is contacting the lift point and not the pinch weld. So we'll have a nice and straight pinch weld for a lot of time to come. And we can go ahead and get our plank out of the way. And lower the vehicle. All right, folks, as you can see, that lifting puck or that jacking puck will accommodate the floor jack. In this case, we're doing a heavy duty, well, I don't know about heavy duty, but we're doing a pretty hefty 2-ton floor jack. So and so this setup allows us to quite easily get the wheel off the ground, and if really wanted to, this jack would actually lift the whole side of the car up. But point being is, I can get under here and not really mess with my pinch weld. All right, so that's one purpose of the lifting pucks. The other thing I'm going to show you is how they interact with the QuickJacks. And that's the real reason I wanted the lifting pucks to be able to use the QuickJacks, because there's a bunch of things I need to do to this car, being a brand new car. And so let me show you how that works. So folks, we do have ourselves a slight problem. No fault of the product, but myself. So let me show you what's going on. So folks, if you can see here, this is the front of the car, and this is a lifting puck in the front, and it's not engaged with the QuickJack. Not a problem, right? But I ended up, the reason I bought the lifting pucks was to use them on the QuickJack. Now, because the engine is in the front, the bias of weight is going to be toward the front. So in future uses, I'll probably move the lifting pad on the QuickJack a little bit further up, which will engage the front lifting puck, but I'll still be missing the rear lifting puck. So as you can see right now, I don't have either the front or back of the lifting pucks. This is the rear of the car now, we just moved. I don't have either of the lifting pucks engaged. So like I said, in future, for the future, when I lift the car with the QuickJacks, what I am going to do is probably move the QuickJack up a couple inches so it lifts from the front puck, again, because more of the weight's going to be the front. But it just happens that what I envisioned using these pucks for is not exactly going to be the case. So they still work perfectly for a floor jack on any corner of the car. That's perfectly fine. The product works as designed. It's a good quality solid piece. It just not, the geometry is not that, so that you can use them both on the QuickJack. Again, not a big difference. The QuickJack does use the lifting blocks that are rubber, so hopefully they will and should protect the pinch weld. And again, for times when I do need to use a floor jack, I will be able to utilize these pucks. All right, folks, so there you go. Solid thank you to VERUS Engineering for the lifting pucks. They didn't work out quite exactly as I had planned to use them, but they still more than meet the primary mission or primary purpose of protecting the pinch welds from floor jacks. So I guess that's technically the first modification on my new WRX. As I said before in my other video, I'm not modifying this car for too much for performance stuff. Basically, I'm going to use it as a snappy and fun daily driver for a while, and then you know, modifications of any substance will be down the road. But I will talk about maintenance and stuff that I do, and you know, as time goes on, I'll make more videos. I got a couple coming up here. First, it's going to be the 500-mile break-in oil change, and we'll get that oil analysis done, so you guys will see that. But if you've been watching up to this point, thank you. Please go ahead and give me that thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of these lifting pucks or jacking pucks. And then if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe. Otherwise, take care, and I'll see you on the next video.